Hey, what's up guys? Sam here, and I'll be doing the free video for Friday, July 10th, 2026. So I just finished making the premium video for the folks in the Mastering the Trade room, and we had looked at the indexes, we looked at bonds and interest rates and dollar, we looked at volatility, and we tried to put all the pieces together. And right now is one of those times where things look a little bit erratic, but if I just try to focus as much as I can on just one chart, this would probably be it. So it would be the SPY here with a 90% bull with a squeeze. So can I tell you that this is the cleanest market that I've ever seen? No, not by far. And the reason being is because the stocks are moving very erratically right now. The correlation between the stocks is extremely low, and a correlation between stocks cuts both ways. So with correlation, you want it to be kind of in the middle, right? You want to have things that kind of mostly track each other, but not so much that everything's tracking as one, right? So that, not the entire market's moving as one block. That usually means that there's like a crash risk. But right now, because it's so low, even things inside of their own sectors are kind of moving in different directions, right? So I'll just give you kind of some silly examples that aren't necessarily true, but just so you can understand what I mean. Like you'll have like Walmart going up, Target going down, Coke going up, Pepsi going down, Nvidia going up, AMD going down, right? Things inside of the same sector that are kind of diverging amongst themselves, and that makes things very erratic. It also makes it so that things don't stay consistent, right? One day it'll be a certain sector, and then the next day it'll be another specific sector. So because it's so noisy and so messy, and there's so much stuff going on in the world, what I'm trying to do is just say, okay, I'm not going to be able to consolidate all this noise into a signal. So what can I do? Well, I have to remove the noise as much as possible. And the best way that I know how to remove the noise is just to focus on the thing that I think I see the most clearly, which is the SPY. So the SPY here is a max bull, or excuse me, it's not a max bull, it's a 90% bull, close, with a daily squeeze. Okay, that generally helps guide me. The second thing that we covered in the premium video was the seasonality for next week, which you can see here, Monday leans bullish, that's why it's got this cool little bull icon. Thursday and Friday also lean bullish, and frankly, even Thursday and Wednesday, or excuse me, Tuesday and Wednesday also have a bullish lean to them. That's why those numbers are above 50. Okay, well that helps the case as well. Where's the problem that I'm seeing? The problem that I'm seeing that we covered in the premium video is in the Qs. Now, here's the thing. Is it a problem? It's not a problem yet, but it can become a problem. And there's a divergence here. Divergence being that the two major indexes are not talking the same language. So I'd like you to focus just on the middle indicator here. And I'm just going to briefly show you something. So it's the true momentum one right here where I'm moving my mouse. And the Qs gave a signal here that it was going to go lower. It chopped around and dove lower. Okay, good signal. Gave a signal here, it wanted to go higher. Just go straight higher. Good signal. This is my favorite one. It gave a signal it was going to go lower. Chomps around for months. People think that's a wedge. It's going to break out. The signal did not improve. It breaks short. Okay. Gave a signal here to go long. Goes up. So we have 4 historical precedent. 1, that one was good. 2, that one was good. 3, that one was good. 4, that one was good. Now we're at 5. And the question is, and the money question, what matters is what happens next, not what happened. The money question is what happens next. And I'm going to have a hard time fighting this signal, guys, because it's 4 of 4 so far on the last, over the last 2 years. And it's not like it's printing 100 different signals. So can it go higher off of this bad signal? And the answer is yes, in the same way that it gave a bad signal here, and it still went higher to the previous high before falling apart. That's kind of what seems to be setting up, right? Now, I just showed you the almanac picture with the cute little bull icon. That implies that we can have some strength in the next week with OPEX and the daily squeeze on SPY. So maybe not this Friday, but maybe after, next Friday, which is OPEX, we'll come back and we'll cover this signal again. But for now, I just want to put it on your radar that the Qs is giving a signal that has been important before. It doesn't necessarily mean it's imminent, but it is kind of a yellow light as opposed to a red light. So with that out of the way, that's generally what we covered in the premium video. I want to just show you guys a couple things that I think are decently aligned going into next week. So one trade that we have in the room together is UPS. So it's not very exciting, right? Nobody's jumping out of bed to buy UPS, but it is a clean signal. It is a max bull. It does have a squeeze. So we picked up the 115 calls 1 week before they have earnings, and ideally I'd like to see this fire long on Monday directly to my target at 115 to 116 on UPS. After that, we got DELL. So DELL's on a little bit of a dip today, but $5 dip on DELL is like not even a scratch given how much it moves. Also very strong signals here on DELL, and I think that this could be breakout ready if we can get a push. I can't think of another symbol that looks quite as breakout ready in tech off the top of my head. And I would be looking for a $500 target. Look how clean that is. If you do your 1272 off of this extension, $500.04 would be the target there on DELL. I don't have a DELL trade right now. Actually, I do have a personal DELL trade, but we took off our DELL earlier in the week, and I put on some unbalanced butterflies at 500 for next week. I was trying to bid on some Starbucks. I have not been filled on this, so I'm going to need a decent dip here to get filled on this. So we'll see if we can get filled maybe next week. I'd like to get it as close as possible to the daily 20, which is going to be right around 103 on Starbucks. One that popped up on my sheet here that, everything here is ranked out. And also before, I could give you the other couple picks. Look at how many daily squeezes there are in the futures as well as the indexes, right? So these are, next week is going to be kind of vital because these daily squeezes are all in play, and the next direction of trillions of dollars of movement, up or down, is dependent on these daily squeezes, and they are everywhere at this point. So I'll leave that up for a second if you want to take a look. But if I look at my sectors there, the number one sector is XRT. Hard to believe, but it is. Second best sector is the transports, which we're playing through UPS. So next up is XRT. Not the most liquid symbol. I was trying to find something inside of it that's liquid, but it has so many small companies that basically just buying the basket probably makes the most amount of sense. But it's a bullish trigger with a daily squeeze as well. A speculative pick for you is going to be AMD. So if the market can get a little bit of polish next week, I think this AMD squeeze can want to go. The indicator has been populating nothing but buy signals on it for some time, and really it just needs a little bit of a thrust. And I think you can see a 6 handle there on AMD. And then just lastly, one for diversity, and in case the market decides to fall apart, usually folks will run and buy themselves some sugar water. So last pick will be Coke, KO. Not because it has a particularly good signal, but just because it acts as a good market hedge. So in the event that the more aggressive directional picks aren't playing out due to the indexes next week, then I think Coke could catch a bid, and I would look for a retest of the highs. Alright guys, so that's my time. If you're watching it on YouTube, give us a like, give us a comment. It really does help us out with the algorithm. And I will see you guys next week. Cheers. Hey traders, this is Sam with Simpler Trading. I want to thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you found the information in it helpful. If you did, leave us a like, leave us a comment. It really does help us out with the algorithm. And if you want to see us trade live with our own real money and be part of the community, come and check us out at simplertrading.com.